Hey everybody, it's Chris. Welcome back to the channel. And today we are doing a video in the fat acceptance realm. It is a video from a creator, I can't talk today, called Daria Crop Up. I will link this video in the description. It is called Fat and Fed Up, The Truth About Being Fat. And I think she's going to, from scanning the comments, I haven't watched it yet, so this is a raw react, but I guess she talks about body positivity and how everything they say is not all that it's cracked up to be. So I am going to get right into this. I want to thank all the new viewers that have been coming and watching the videos and supporting the channel, all of my returning viewers. You guys are the best. The channel continues to slowly and steadily grow, and I just love interacting with you, and I appreciate your time. As I've always said, there are so many creators you could give your precious time to on YouTube, and you give a little bit to me. I truly appreciate it. So let's see what Daria has to say. I don't know if she's a member of Fat Acceptance, Body Positivity, and Haze, or if she's just speaking about it. So we are going to see what she says. She is a little sped up for time. And if I have to slow her down, I will. So let's get into it.
I'm fat and I hate it. Very unpopular opinion in the body positivity community.
Yes, very.
It's not only because of fat phobia. Well, a little bit. But mostly it sucks physically. Yes, you can be fat and be happy, but you
Yes. Did you hear what she said? She said, I'm going to slow her down for a second. She said,
cannot be positivity community. It's not only because of fat phobia. Well, a little bit. But mostly it sucks physically. Yes.
it sucks physically. And she's right off the bat. This is stuff they do not want you to say, and they do not want you to hear. The TikTok creators, the big BoPo heavyweights, no pun intended. They like to show you that they're like have this wonderful, super amazing, glamorous life, but they don't show you the ugly side. That's why they didn't like the movie The Whale. That's why they don't like shows like My 600-Pound Life, because they don't want to show you the honest truth about it. So I give this woman a lot of credit for being honest. Like, hey, it's not fun. It sucks. And I'm sure in any body positivity space she would exist in, she would get thrown to the wolves for this and automatically like just kicked out.
Yes, you can be fat and be happy, but you cannot be comfortable. Because
And that's true. She's very right. Right now, I have like anywhere from like on the low end 40 some pounds to the high end 80 pounds of excess weight on me. And especially with somebody very short in stature, aka a hobbit like myself, it's not comfortable. It's physically hindering, and it gets in the way, and it's cumbersome. It really is. That's why I totally don't believe people like Amberlyn Reed who say they can reach themselves and clean properly and not have issues, because I know with like my weight that it's problematic, and not to like the degree of much larger people, but bigger people definitely have issues.
being fat is so uncomfortable. Clothes don't fit properly. You get out of breath while walking.
Yeah, and that's not normal. The human body and our species in general was made to be lean and move and be active and agile, and we're not meant to just be these like sedentary lumps on our becoming one with our sofas.
You just know you take up more space and you become very self-conscious. Public
And that's what they always say, you deserve to take up space. Yeah, you do. We all do. But take up what you're supposed to. If you take up more, you got to pay for it. And they're mad because fat acceptance, they don't want to pay for it.
transport, planes and stuff like that. I fit in one seat and I don't need extender, but I already feel uncomfortable. And
Okay, so this woman, by body positivity, positivity standards has thin privilege because she can fit into a single seat on a plane, doesn't require a seatbelt extender, and is probably more along the lines of just your average everyday American level of fat, because our country is fat and sick, guys. It just is. But in body positivity, I don't even know if they would consider her a small fat. Oh my gosh, a skinny bitch. You know what I mean? So she would probably already be looked down upon in the BoPo sphere because she's got skinny privilege and she hasn't eaten herself into the shape of an actual sphere.
And I'm worried that someone's gonna feel uncomfortable sitting next to me. Some of us are afraid they're gonna break the furniture. And how crazy is that? Especially those like plastic chairs.
Those plastic chairs are sus at best. I mean, they are not reliable at the best of times for most people. So if you're any degree of overweight, yeah, you got to watch those plastic chairs, man.
Think about all that. How can you say that being fat is okay? Like, it is okay. No one should be shamed for that. But like, it's so uncomfortable.
And they probably hate her saying this because they say, I love my body. Our bodies can do anything skinny people and fit bodies can do. No, they can't. And I'm just as capable. No, you're not. You know, so they really don't like when people speak out of turn and try to disillusion people into this like perfect image that they've created.
Not be delusional. It sucks. It also sucks.
She's really funny and she's really cute. Like she has such a cute little demeanor about her. You should definitely go check out her channel.
Mentally. You're so big that you're becoming invisible. Ironic, right? People, and especially men, just don't look at you.
And I know they hate hearing stuff like this. This woman is actually just spitting honest facts and reality, and I give her so much credit. And she's so right about the mental effects of being overweight, especially really overweight and like obese guys. Your mental health is directly related to your physical health. It's becoming more and more proven. Serotonin is made in your gut, even though it's considered like a mental health chemical. And eating a diet high in a bunch of processed, packaged crap food, this stuff that isn't even really food. It's like food like edible substances. Those have an effect on and wreak havoc on your body. And that absolutely affects your mental health. I know I don't like when people say, I'm taking time off of my weight loss journey to work on my mental health. You're never going to achieve amazing mental health while you are still very, very obese and you are eating a really crap diet. A perfect example, and then you're not going to reach your goals. A perfect example of that would be somebody like April Lauren. If you know April Lauren. You just need to work on both, and actually getting your diet in check and losing weight will help your mental health more than I think people realize.
They pretend you don't exist. They don't make eye contact. I'm just walking down the street and it literally feels like I'm wearing invisibility clothes.
And this woman isn't even big by body positivity standards. Yes, she looks like she's overweight and has weight to lose, but you know, she's not like one of these like big Berthas walking around in the body positivity sector. And I'm sure they would just cringe at her saying how men don't find you attractive, people don't find fat women as attractive. It's true. I mean, if you do, fine, that's your preference, but they insist that if your preference is not a fat person, then you're a bigot, you are biased, you only feel that way because society has conditioned you. No, you know what I mean? It's like, and if you like somebody who is of an extreme size, that truly gets into fetishism, because you can't just look at the physical aspects of being severely obese, which is, you know, your body does become deformed. You don't have a human fit shape anymore. But it also, a size like that also can be unattractive because it shows that you have poor self-discipline, poor self-control, poor lifestyle habits, and poor health, or poor health coming down the line if you're younger.
If I walk on the street and look at a man just randomly, you know, without any agenda, they immediately turn their head away.
Oh, and let's like totally not ignore the fact that all of these fat acceptance women have openly stated that, well, most of them, that they wouldn't date a fat guy, that they're not attracted to fat guys. They deserve freaking Thor, you know, remember why I can't think of the name of the guy who plays Thor. I know who it is. But they need a guy. They deserve a guy like that who eats healthy and takes care of himself. But they get mad if a guy like that or any guy wants a woman who is like the female version of that, where she eats healthy, takes care of herself, cares about her size, wants to shrink herself. It's just such a double standard. Chris Hemsworth, there it is.
Just so I don't
Better
think
late
that
than never.
they fancy me. And the thin friend will never understand. They'd be like, oh, just smile at people. Just smile at men on the street. Yeah, sure.
Well, a lot of the time your thin friends, especially if they've never been overweight, they really just, they don't know what you're going through, and they want you to be like, you know, just smile. They want you to be happy. And I can say that I do have a different perspective because I was really thin and fit. I was a 98-pound figure skater until I was in my early 20s. And then I gained a little weight, lost it. Now I'm fat as heck and working on losing it. But so I know what it's like to be on both sides. And I know when I was younger and I was thin and fit and super active and I could eat all the things, and people go, you can eat whatever you want and not gain weight. You're so lucky. But the fact is I was exercising and working out and burning an amazing amount of calories every week consistently for years. That's why I could eat what I wanted. You know what I mean? Because I was just moving and I had a lot of muscle, especially in my legs, and those are the biggest muscles in your body. And when you have muscle, your body burns more in general at rest even than somebody who doesn't have muscle mass. But I used to just say all the time, I would just be like, oh, just stop eating so much. I don't understand why. Just stop eating. Just stop eating so much. Oh my God, just put the fork down, eat less, and go do some exercise. And that was my attitude. And it stemmed from a place of ignorance. I truly didn't know all the factors that come with weight gain and being obese, especially once you get to be where you have a lot of weight to lose, like 40, 50, 60, 100 plus pounds. It's daunting and it's very stressful. It's a long, hard haul. And I didn't realize how hard it was for how dependent people become on food, how actually addicted people get to certain foods, especially these processed packaged foods and stuff like that. So I like that I have experience from both sides of the spectrum. But yeah, your skinny friends, if they've never experienced being overweight, they're truly not gonna understand, no matter how much they try.
I'm gonna put myself through that. And same with dating. They'd be just like, no, you just need to put yourself out there. You just need to go and date people. Like, God, it's not that easy. I'm not saying that no one can be attracted to me, but it's so much harder to put yourself out there, and the possibility of rejection is way higher. Don't live in the same world. And yes,
Although it is easier in this day and age because, like, this girl back in my youth would have been considered like super, super fat, and she would have been picked on for being the fat girl. But, you know, so it was definitely harder back then when more people held themselves to a standard, because our standards have dropped immensely in America over the past few years, let's face it. But where more people were fit and stuff, and you had more competition, so to speak. But now, in today's society here, at least in America, this woman would be considered average or she would probably be one of the thinner ones in a larger friend group or work, coworker pool. So dating while you're heavier is easier now than it has been because everybody is so freaking big.
I am definitely looking forward to going out with you and pretend I'm not heard when the guys talk to you and then just ignore me. I think the worst part of all, it's all the judgment. Like, I'll give you an example. Have you seen all those mukbang, I hope I'm saying that right, videos when people are just like eating large amount of foods in front of the camera? It's usually skinny people and like people don't say much.
This makes me happy. I feel like she saying that hasn't looked much into the mukbang realm, which is good because I feel like nobody should. But there are a lot of mukbangers who are actually big as heck, and it's problematic.
And when I see on TikTok videos of like skinny girls just like destroying a burger, so many comments from men, oh, why material perfect, that's amazing.
But the also thing too is people don't realize that these thin mukbangers go through a lot off camera to maintain their size. And a lot of them straight up lie. They eat part of the food and then they spit it out in a camera cut. They don't actually eat all of it.
I love a girl with appetite, but then a fat person just existing and eating something even healthy. I've seen videos of this girl. She does what I eat in a day, and she's extremely healthy, and she's eating within her calorie deficit, which obviously for a bigger person is bigger than from someone that's already thin. And she was eating just chicken, potatoes, and some veg. And the comments, oh my god, it was on.
Okay, but the thing is that she's not eating. She's still, if she's obese and maintaining her size, she's not eating in a deficit. She's eating still in a calorie surplus. She's still eating too much because she's maintaining her size. Even if it's healthy food, yes, it's better if you're eating healthy food, obviously, but you can still overeat on healthy things. You need to still watch your portions.
Honestly crazy. Just so brave for showing that. I don't know where she's now because she's not coming up on my For You page anymore, but you go, girl. And like, honestly, she was eating chicken, potatoes, and vegetables. And people were saying, how can you eat so much? You should cut off potatoes. You should not be eating any carbs. This is.
Well, if you are obese, if you're very obese, it would help you to limit or reduce or remove carbohydrates because they cause blood sugar spikes. Your insulin is chronically elevated. It causes blood sugar crashes and cravings. And you just do better to focus more on proteins and good fats and lean, non-starchy vegetables. I'm not saying you have to completely cut out carbs, but people who are obese, they eat too much sugar, and sugar, even a potato does break down into sugar in your body. So that's probably where people are coming from.
It's too much to lose weight. You should be eating only 1,000 calories. What the fuck?
Most people don't have to cut down to 1,000 calories to lose weight. I could do that because I'm very, very petite. I have a very small frame. I have a sedentary job and hormonal metabolic issues. So, I could probably, if I'm eating whole foods and have a good balance, I could eat 1,000 calories a day as a diet and be pretty healthy. It wouldn't hurt me. But most people don't need to cut that much. Because they're so big, they can start out by eating more than that.
They just assume because you are fat, you eat so much, and you just.
Because if you are fat, you eat so much. You eat too much. If you have more than like 15, 20 pounds of excess weight, I don't care if you have hormone issues, you take certain medications, whatever, genetics, it's because you're eating too much at the end of the day. You need to adjust your intake and output to take into consideration these things, and you can maintain your weight or lose weight. If you gain weight on anything like that, it's because you're eating too much at the end of the day. And anyone who's obese, it's because they eat too much.
So lazy. Trust me, I'm probably going to do more than any of you.
Not every fat person's lazy. I'm not going to say that. A lot of them, they work a lot. They have a lot of responsibilities. That's not true, but you eat too much. And this woman, by today's standards, is average.
I was going to the circuit class on Saturdays, and I was going week by week, and I was actually doing quite okay. It's a very tough workout, and I was the only fat person there. And the trainer changed, and the new guy came in, and he was singling me out every time we were doing something.
So, and I don't agree with that, because I think anybody who harasses a heavy person who's overweight to any degree, anyone who harasses someone in the gym or out walking or swimming or doing something to try to improve their health or move more, that person's just an asshole. You should never do that. I give props to people who want to make better choices and try to lose weight and try to move more and do something to help themselves. People who pick on you, like this guy sounds like he was just a jerk.
Good job. Yes, you can do it. You can do it. It made me feel like shit. I know he was like,
Well, maybe, okay, in that case, maybe he wasn't intentionally trying to be a jerk. He was just trying to give her some extra motivation to kind of want to encourage her to keep going and come back and stuff. Maybe he wasn't intending to single her out, but that's just how she took it. So it's
coming from
fine.
the right place. But dude, don't act like you're surprised. I'm fat and I can do it. I don't need that. Same with medical attention. I've heard so many horrible stories of people being misdiagnosed or not even diagnosed at all because they're fat. Doctors just
Because fat, being overweight, can mask a lot of things. You could have a true joint problem or injury, but the fact is when you have too much excess weight on your body, it's going to strain your joints. It's going to cause pain. It's going to cause sleeping issues. It's going to cause problems with your blood pressure and just a myriad of other things. So, you know, any responsible doctor should initially encourage you to lose weight and get to a healthy body size. Obviously, they should if do any other testing and stuff that's warranted and help you in the meantime manage symptoms, but any doctor who allows you or doesn't care about your weight or encourages you to stay fat, you should get rid of that doctor.
dismiss the symptoms and put everything on the weight. I have one story that literally boiled my blood. I went to renew my contraception prescription last year, and the nurse, it was appalling. She asked me if I knew how much I weighed, and I said yes, because I went to the gym like 2 days ago and I was waiting by my personal trainer, so I told her the weight, and she asked me still to go on a scale because she didn't believe me. I was just shocked.
Well, okay, like maybe she didn't believe you, whatever, it is what it is. The fact is when I worked in a medical office, and I know just from having medical experience, they really need to make sure you get an accurate weight on a patient. And people will lie. Like I could go into my doctor's office right now and they could say, how much do you weigh? I could say 150 and I'm lying. And it's important for them to know so they can monitor throughout your visits trends in your weight. And then if you've gained a lot of weight or lost a lot of weight, say, is this intentional? So that, because extreme weight loss or gain can indicate a problem. And as far as medication and dosing and stuff like that, they need an accurate weight. Plus, like I said, weight just affects your overall health, and they need to be aware of what the actual number is.
I did that, and then she started talking to me about that I need to lose weight, and I said, I'm aware. Thank you. I am on a diet right now. I go to the gym. I'm on the meal plan. Everything is fine. I'm losing weight. And then she said, oh, what do you do? So I told her that.
Well, that's really good though, but the problem is there are more and more of these fat activists out there like telling people that doctors shouldn't weigh you and shouldn't bring up your weight, and they're passing out cards to their doctor saying do not weigh me and blah 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 blah, and it's just a bunch of shit. So and a lot of people are just fat and complacent with being fat and never want to change. So I can understand why the nurse probably didn't, she mentioned something thinking that you were just like that, but the fact that you said, okay, I'm aware, I'm on a diet, I'm trying to lose weight, that's to be applauded. And I hope she was like, oh, okay, good.
That I'm eating around like 2,200 calories. Yes, that's my deficit. And that I'm going to the gym like 3 to 4 times a week, and I work with a personal trainer. And she just looked at me and she asked me, no, and she didn't ask me like, what would I eat for like typical breakfast? And then I said, I eat like avocado toast, or I would eat some eggs and a toast.
Oh, I love avocado toast, man. Eggs, that's great.
Or porridge. And she just looked at me like I just told her that I'm eating McDonald's for every meal. She's like, in order to lose weight, you need to stop eating carbs.
Well, the nurse isn't wrong. Like you can't, like I am admittedly a more of a lower carber, and I've had great success with it in the past. I know the benefits it provides hormonally and metabolically and stuff like that, and with a myriad of conditions. That's clearly where this nurse is maybe coming from, but it's also the fact that, like I mentioned earlier, carbohydrates cause the whole blood sugar up and down thing and the insulin thing, and it causes cravings, and it just messes with your satiety and hunger hormones. And the fact is like when your when your insulin is elevated, and it elevates no matter what you eat, even if you eat a meal with no carbs, but the carbs keep it elevated much longer. And while your insulin is in an elevated state, you can't act effectively tap into your fat stores. Insulin is called the fat storage hormone for a reason. If you want to really get the most bang for your buck out of your diet and really tap into your stored fat on top of just, everything else as far as helping with inflammation and stuff like that too, your best bet is to do a lower carb diet.
I wanted to kill her. She had no idea what she was talking about. She has no qualification to say that. And I reported her.
Well, actually, if she knows about low carb dieting, then she's coming from the realm of what I just said. And what I just said is medically and biologically accurate.
Her to my GP, and I said that.
Like, there's no reason to report the nurse. She was trying to help you. See, and a lot of people, they are so attached to their carbs, they just will not give them up. And hey, if you can lose weight and they work for you, that's fine. But the fact is in general, as a people, we do eat too many carbs, aka sugar. We used to not eat nearly as many as we do now, and we're not nearly as active as we used to be. So, in general, we need to we eat too freaking many of them.
This was disgusting. I'm strong and I know I have all this knowledge and I've been doing this for years, and now I'm working with a PT, I'm in therapy, and it didn't destroy me. But some other person can go there and can receive this advice and can develop eating disorder. This is
No. See, now this I don't agree with. A nurse telling someone you shouldn't eat carbs, that's not going to trigger an eating disorder. Will like limiting things and calorie counting and stuff maybe cause problems for some people? Yeah, but for the most part it doesn't. And there is nothing unhealthy about telling someone to limit sugar or limit or cut back on carbs or don't eat carbs or don't eat processed food or whatever. You know what I mean? She gave sound advice, and it sounds like this girl just likes carbs and got offended by it. But if she cut carbs, she would be just fine. There are people that eat like no carbs. They live on just meat and they are healthy and fit and they're not dropping over dead.
just insane. And let me tell you, I'm reluctant to go back. People can be then discouraged to go to the doctors, to go to see a nurse, to go to emergency room because they're afraid they're going to be dismissed or going to be treated like that. So then
And but okay, I understand that. But the thing is like this nurse did not do anything wrong by telling you shouldn't eat carbs. She basically said you shouldn't be eating sugar. And yeah.
they don't seek help, and that's just terrifying. Did you also know that things like this can happen in the workplace? Because fat people are perceived as lazy, they're less likely to be hired when it's them against someone that's them. Same with
I've never worked anywhere where a person wasn't hired because they were fat. In fact, a lot of places I worked at, the majority of people were fat or extremely big. So I don't think that happens as much as they say. I don't know. She started so good, but now she seems to be falling back a little bit into the fat acceptance rhetoric. I can understand if there's a job that has a physical nature and needs to have somebody be physically able to perform certain tasks, move quickly and with agility, and like, you know, a thing where time is money. And I'm sorry, but people who are obese, and like, again, I'm not talking about if you're 15, 20, 25 pounds overweight, but if you're obese, you're not going to move as fast as somebody fitter. You're not going to be able to bend up and, you know, and squat and go up and down and move around as well as somebody who's fitter. You are more prone to injury. And overweight people, they They're just not an obese body is not as physically capable as a thinner, fitter body. It's just reality. I'm not saying that makes you less than as a person. It doesn't, but it makes you less qualified to do certain jobs where a very physical nature is required to do said job.
So when all of this is so bad, you might ask yourself, why are you fat then? It's horrible, just change it. In one of the Facebook groups I'm in, this girl wrote that she doesn't understand the society anymore because people are so sensitive, you cannot say anything. And she said that there was this post of a girl that she's getting married very soon and she feels uncomfortable in her body. Her maid of honor is very skinny and she's fat and she feels like people will be looking at the maid of honor instead of her, even though
That's one of the main like motivations for a lot of women to lose weight is to lose weight for their wedding day.
she's the bride, and she was asking for some advice, like what to do with kind of like underwear buy and stuff like that. And this girl said that she needs to lose weight, and she was banned from this group, and she doesn't understand why. And she was trying to be helpful, and a lot of people try to explain to her what she's done, but she still didn't understand. We know
So
that
this girl seems to still be caught up to a degree into the Haze body positivity. If you're overweight and you don't want to be showed up by your thinner bridesmaid, lose weight. It wasn't a bad suggestion. And I think like at the end of the day, most people at a wedding, the bride has the beautiful dress. She's the star of the show. I don't think she would necessarily be showed up, by the bridesmaid, but I can see why you would feel that way. And the fact that she has those thoughts shows you that she is not, in fact, happy with her size and knows she would like herself better and feel better about herself if she was smaller, but she has to be willing to do the work to lose the weight.
you're fat, and we know that in order to not be fat, you need to lose weight. Mind blowing. It's not like I'm
Yeah, see, because what's weird about this girl is she says stuff that's real body positivity, like hazy, but at the same time, she understands that you do need to lose weight first. So she's not fully indoctrinated yet. Like there's still hope for her. And I hope she doesn't fall too deep down into that dark place.
I'm going through my life just, being happy and, all is good. And then someone's like, oh, you're fat. And I'm like, oh my God, thank you. Really? It's a
I don't think people should just go around and randomly tell people they're fat. I mean, let's face it. You know when you're fat, right? Like it's not a surprise to anybody.
brand new information. Thank you so much. And you don't know, maybe this girl already lost like 50 pounds and she's still on the journey and she's still doing whatever she can. And that comment might have hurt her so much. You don't know that. So my best advice is to shut up and don't comment on people's appearance. And trust me,
Well, yeah, I understand that to a degree, but see, I don't know. A lot of people might get mad at me about this. I'm sure I definitely rub people the wrong way with this. I don't necessarily agree whenever they say that we shouldn't judge people on their appearance because that is like a very human nature thing to do. One of the first things you do is look at somebody, look at their appearance and judge them, and it tells you a lot about the person, or it gives you assumptions or a general observation. Is this person safe? Is this person sick? Are they healthy? Are they way back in time? Is this person a threat? Are they an ally? Are they holding a weapon? Do they need help? Are they sick? Are they injured? And then as far as like attraction and physical appearance, yes, it gives us a lot of information. Is this someone I'm attracted to? Are they healthy? Would we be able to do things together? Would we be able to have babies? Would they raise healthy babies? Will they get sicker and die sooner? Like, do I think this person's ugly? Do I think they're cute? You are allowed to judge people on how they look because it is a very human nature thing to do. And this whole, oh, you can't ever say anything or judge anybody on their appearance and how they look, and you can't only say good things and you can't say bad. That's not reality. Okay? Like, we have eyes for a reason. And one of those reasons is to like assess our surroundings and what's in them and who is in them. And it's like, It's just human nature. You're going to judge people's looks. It is how it is. Of course, don't just go up to somebody and say, "Hey, you're fat." But yeah, that's I looking at somebody's appearance, their overall appearance can tell them a lot about you, because when you first see somebody, you don't know their personality, their motives, their, things like that about them. So that's why physical appearance is like the first step.
Every fat person tried dieting at least a couple of times. It's a disease. Yeah, disease. Google it. No one is fat because they're lazy. There's always something more.
Obesity is not a disease. It is a self brought upon condition. And there are people that are fat because they're lazy. Okay. I know she's trying to be nice here, but I'm going to be not nice. Not everybody, but some people are in fact fat because they're lazy and they eat too much.
It's either physical or mental. There are eating disorders like binge eating. I've struggled with that for years. Binge eating and emotional eating, it's horrible. And it's not.
Yes, and I have struggled with binging. I hope I don't get demonetized for saying that word. But there are people with that disorder who are not obese. And that cannot be a sole excuse. And you can get help for that and control that. Yeah.
That easy to treat. Like, I've been in therapy for years, and
It's hard. Any type of disordered eating is tricky, and chances are you will have to deal with it for life and manage it and stuff like that. And most people can go into full recovery and they're like in remission for years and years and years. Some people, they have episodes where it crops up, and some people really struggle. But it is not the sole reason for somebody being very, very obese, like a lot of these fat activists.
use food as a tool to deal with very hard emotions. So when I was a kid, a family member was very mean to me and was bullying me, and I used food as coping mechanism.
And a lot of people do use food as a coping mechanism, right? They do.
I was locking myself in my room and eating, and then I was feeling very bad about myself, so I was eating more to kind of numb that feeling. And
yeah, and it's a vicious cycle. Yeah, it's not
how I gain weight. It's not because I'm lazy. It's not because I normally overeat. I eat quite healthy. I love vegetables. I love green juices. I love green smoothies. I love salads. I don't have a problem with healthy eating. It's just.
And that's good, because when I do some of what I eat in a days as a fat person, their diets are absolutely horrible. And I do want to do those videos again. Maybe I'll start working on one this weekend. It's just a time thing and stuff, because doing the calorie counts and stuff takes a lot of extra time. But you can still overeat on healthy things, and eating healthy here and there, like for a meal or a cup, that doesn't cancel out the unhealthy stuff that you've eaten. And it also doesn't counteract the consuming of excess. But I'm going to end it here, guys. This one's confusing. I like her. I think she's really funny. She's got a cute little mannerism about her. I think she did say some really good things, but she does still seem to be right with a foot well planted into the Hayes fat acceptance body positivity movement. And for her sake, I do hope she escapes that and fully gets out of that, and doesn't let it ruin her life like it truly is doing for so many people. But anyways, I hope you like this little video. This is a shorter one. Like and subscribe for more content. Leave a comment down below if you want to help with the algorithm. If you don't have anything you want to say and you want to help with the algorithm, you can leave an emoji in the comments. What can we do today? How about she's got a nice guitar in the background? Put a little guitar emoji. But anyways, I hope you guys like this one, and I will see you in the next video.